It's the best station, period.
Let's be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time for Live at 5:05. We know right after you get out of work and jump into the car to go home, you want to know the latest and the biggest stories, and we will give both of them to you at 5:05 every single day. Ben, we go to, of course, KSLSports.com, where we have the staff and the resources to cover everything. So we want to give you the latest story at KSLSports.com, which is a banger put out by our boy Cole Bagley, talking about Sean Dursey, Ben, fined by NHL Department of Player Safety for headbutting Rasmus Andersson. And that is the latest at KSLSports.com. Good news is the biggest story of the day, the Utah Mammoth and their playoff run, playoff sports, back in Salt Lake City. They trail Las Vegas. The Golden Knights 1-0. By the way, Dursey's fined, did I mention it, $5,000 is the maximum fine under the new CBA. So the latest and biggest stories related today, Ben.
All the markers of a first game for a NHL team, and not an expansion franchise, but a team that A, has never played in Utah before, and then B, has never made the playoffs since being in Utah. And a lot of these players have never played in the postseason. I don't think that's letting them off the hook, but some early jitters, playing very quickly early on, settling in, finding their groove, and then not really knowing how to close. I think that actually is not that crazy of a storyline. I think that's not that uncommon. But that doesn't mean that they didn't find themselves behind 1-0, despite the fact that they were trailing after the first period, trailing after the second period, and had put themselves in an opportunity to wrestle back home ice advantage.
Is offense going to be a problem? Cooley had the first goal, great goal. Had a little offense, and then it just disappeared. Their second goal was an accident. And the third period, they just got roughed up. We can combine it. Is offense/physical play going to be a fatal flaw?
My guess is no. I think they're going to be able to score in this series. I would be surprised, and again, the Stenlund goal was fluky. And then, part of hockey is puck luck, no question about it. You're not going to see one that fluky again. I think they're going to generate better chances. I would expect Keller to come out and play better. I would expect Schmaltz to come out and play better. I thought sometimes they passed it far too often. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, and that's where I really liked what Dylan Guenther did and what Logan Cooley did, and the rest of the team needs to adopt that. So I think they're going to score. I do think they are going to have to find a way to get the puck out of the D zone, stop allowing Vegas to just control possession, and especially if the Mammoths find themselves down. And that's where I would worry about this team. If they find themselves trailing, I don't know if they're going to be able to come back, because a very big, slow, physical team can just sit on the puck. And that's really what it felt like. They got the momentum in the third period, did Vegas, and then just held on to it and ran away with it, and the Mammoth got worn down. And where I would also worry about this is if we get to a Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, are the Mammoths just decimated? Physically, are they not able to hold up against a much bigger roster?
Logan Cooley, who I think looks like Stevie Weeks, had his life threatened. What was that guy's name again? Dowd. Threatened his life. Said, I will kill you, with a word in the middle.
Correct. But he actually yelled, Cooley, I'm going to kill you, which is crazy.
How many times have you been threatened like that?
A handful a week, but yeah, I don't take it as seriously as a guy with blades on his feet and big stick in his hands.
Like when you were your skate team took over the library one day, people
the scooter parents would threaten to kill me all the time.
Would chase you off.
I actually did have a grandfather. Thought I said something to his grandson one time. I didn't, but he thought I said something. And he said, "If you ever say that to my grandson again, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
Speaking of grandfather, Dowd is 35 years old.
Okay.
He's threatened a 21, 22-year-old in Logan Cooley.
And Dowd's a nobody, and Cooley's upcoming star, and the Mammoth will protect Cooley at all costs.
I think they should have Dowd arrested. I think they should. I think he should press charges. Can you just walk around like that old man that threatened you? Can you just walk
LVPD.
around threatening to kill people? I don't think you can.
I didn't call the police.
If you walked into the hallway and threatened to kill Salazar right now.
We'll explain who Salazar coming up in 20 minutes.
You'd be hauled out in.
I'm with you.
You'd be hauled out in cuffs.
Well, something happens when you get between the lines or on the ice. No holds barred.
Well, here's Logan Cooley talking about sticking up for his teammates.
There's going to be there's going to be guys that grab you and try to bring you into the fight, and you got to make sure you're sticking up for each other, getting each other's back, and I think we did a good job of that, handling that the right way, and just got to make sure we're controlling our energy too.
As non-existent as the top line was, and didn't get anything from Keller, didn't get anything from Schmaltz, didn't get anything from Krauser, I thought Cooley was equally good. As bad as the top line was, I thought Cooley showed up extraordinarily well, and I actually thought Gunther played very well. Also, with that second line, I thought his ability to generate good looks is a good sign, and that's where I think this team is going to be able to score. And I would be surprised if you're able to shut out Keller and Schmaltz entirely. I think they will find some momentum at some point. But I thought Cooley showing up was a really good sign. The fact that he's got the playoff stuff. He's got what it takes to play at this level. Because as you said, you think he looks like Stevie Weeks from Mystery Alaska.
From Mystery Alaska, yeah.
Who's a 15-year-old who's playing on the men's league or
he's
whatever
like
it is.
16 or 17.
He's a kid. And Cooley looks like a kid. And Cooley is not enormous yet. He's getting bigger. You can already tell his shoulders are like bigger than they were even a year ago when he was playing with the Utah Hockey Club. He's getting bigger. He's going to be just fine. But his game translates well. And I think that's a positive regardless of what happens in this series. But no, man, they've got to play better. As much as we can say it's just about making the playoffs, and you wanted to get there, and that was part of the goal. Now you're here. Now there's a new season has begun, and you can't just be happy that you got the invite. I think it's now time to take advantage.
You kind of have had like a baby face throughout your life. I've had something similar. Has it been challenging? Do you have a tough time getting people, or did you? I shouldn't say. You look like a grizzled vet now in your 40s.
Thank you.
You're not quite there yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Next month? 2 months?
June.
But back in your 20s.
I become grizzled in June.
Back in your 20s, did you struggle with that?
Yeah. So yeah, people are surprised I'm 39.
Christian is 19 and looks like he's 56.
Correct.
So he does not.
Well, he's been smoking since he was 8 years old. He started a Facebook page and he started smoking the same month when he was 8.
His mom got him on Facebook at 7, and he already had a beard.
He found out the marketplace you can buy tobacco, unfiltered tobacco, and yeah,
sell it to your friends.
Yeah, he looks like an old catcher's mitt. But yeah, I've dealt with the opposite problem though.
But seriously, Logan Cooley looks like he's going to walk down to Tuxedo Junction to rent one for his
But you know
prom.
what? You know why that might be the
It's going to be
case?
tough to battle it, though.
No,
You've got old geezers threatening to kill you because he looks like a little kid.
That's the thing. You saw him already leaving the ice, and Dowd got the worst of it, but because Dowd was bleeding from his face. You saw Cooley after the game. I mean, he just had red marks and bumps all over his face. He's going to earn his hockey face because he's going to be the guy they're trying to beat up on the ice because I think they recognize very quickly this is the most dangerous dude we're going to face in this series. Logan Cooley's the best player we're going to face, and we're going to do everything we can to take him out of it. And that's what Vegas's approach is going to be. And guess what? Coming into the next game, the Mammoth are going to beat up Stone or Eichel or Marner, and I don't mean fist fight, though clearly that's not off the table. They're going to try and rough these guys up too, and they're going to make sure that they feel it because Vegas did a very good job making Logan Cooley feel them throughout this game, and it's why he left with the beat-up face and having his life threatened. And I think that is what playoff hockey is about. I know the Vegas Golden Knights are particularly hated by NHL fans across the entire league, so I don't think this is new that they're a villain, but clearly they're comfortable leaning into it, and Cooley's going to be their target. So Cooley's going to have to prove that he can belong, and day one, I thought he did. Game one, I thought he showed his value.
I tell you what, hockey players are something else. I mean that from a good thing. I've got, because of course I've got Cole's great write-up on Sean Dursey and his fine, and I'm just rewatching the video of the headbutt.
The headbutt's great.
Where he goes at it, because he doesn't have a helmet on, and he headbutts the other guy. Do you remember when Deion Sanders and Andre Rison got in that slap fight in the NFL? You and I have, they're standing away from each other, slapping themselves in the helmet, and you just can't help but rolling your eyes. Every fight in the NBA is a hold me back. I mean, it's a complete joke. Hockey players are out here headbutting them without helmets on.
There was a fight before
is a crazy
the game
man.
started. McBain got into it before the game started.
Was he out there headbutting people without a helmet?
And then Sergachev was in it after the game. And then the first timeout, I think they were tackling. I mean, it was every 6 minutes on the ice. There was at least 4 people involved in fights. And let's see if Familka throws the gloves down and meets Hart at center ice.
I honestly don't need the fights. And, Jersey headbutting someone without a helmet is pretty cool. But you have to have an edge. I mean, I think however that manifests itself, I think that's part of the Mammoth problem. I think they need to figure out where their edge is because they are not the bigger team. They are not the more physical team in a game that rewards that physicality. Now, does the speed win out and the Bear figure out a way to scheme it so the speed becomes more of a factor in this series? I don't know. But I gotta imagine, the captain, Clayton Keller's got to figure out a way to be more physical. That first line has to figure out a way to be better.
I do think you're right. I don't think you can fall into the trap of fighting so often that you're playing 4-on-4. Now, 4-on-4 may be advantageous for the Mammoths because they are quicker and you get more space. They are going to look a little bit better there. But I do think one of the areas you may need to be cautious or wise is see if you can draw fights without getting into fights. Because if you can put yourself in the man advantage with a power play, because Vegas, this is clearly Vegas's design. Vegas wants to fight. They want to beat you up. They're bigger than you are.
So how do you not play into it?
So don't play into it. Let them fight you. Have them draw the penalty. Get the man advantage and see if you can build a lead that way. I do think there is actually something to that the Mammoth might be able to use in their favor before the end of this series. But we'll see. It's big. This is game 1. We'll see. I'm going to give them room to certainly recover. They haven't been here before. They didn't play particularly well. I thought some of the veterans were more disappointing than they should have been. We'll see if they're able to bounce back. But this is going to be the name of the game going forward. And if you don't have the size or you don't know how to fight it, it's going to be a short series, but a painful one.
Tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Philly and Pittsburgh are already underway just in the first period, about 13 and a half to go. 0-0 scoreless tie. The other games coming up tonight, starting at 5:30, the Senators are at the Hurricanes, game 2. Carolina leads that 1-0. The Stars play host to the Wild at 7:30. Minnesota with a 1-0 advantage in that series. And then game 1 of the Oilers and the Ducks from Edmonton is at 8 o'clock.
Game 1? Everyone else has already played. Why did they get such a good break?
I don't know. The Mighty Ducks have a cool logo. Maybe that's it.
Get Bettman on the phone.
Come on, Gare. Saturdays
and Sundays, buddy.
What are you doing, bro?
Monday, game 1? I don't like it.
But Connor McDavid in the nightcap.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious to watch these, and I've watched some of the games over the weekend already. I was a little more glued to the NBA playoffs, admittedly, but I want to see if the physicality matches what we saw from the Mammoth and the Golden Knights. And in some areas it has, some areas it's not. I do think that was a uniquely aggressive game.
I always kind of like the Penguins.
Okay, said the kid.
Did you guys watch the lead-in before last night's Mammoth game, the Buffalo and Boston?
By the Bruins, up 2-0 with 8 minutes to go, and gave up 4 straight. One of them was an empty netter, right? But 4 straight.
I got a good buddy who's
3 within 2 minutes. It was oof.
Who's a huge Sabres fan who I saw yesterday because my daughter was over playing with his daughter, and he was like on cloud 9 because the Sabres were supposed to suck. Now they're the best team in the East.
Yep.
Did you see the snowball riot in Buffalo?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
very
cool.
cool.
I mean, we keep coming back to this, but they've got to build that here with the the NHL community, and as excited as everybody gets, and these markets where these teams have been there forever, and everybody the care factor is through the roof. And actually, I'd throw Vegas, or they're starting to be in that category, as they're off to a good start as a franchise. I think it's something that people around here can get into, the culture of it all. And I think it's important to experience this playoff run. The Mammoth need to rattle off a couple of wins to get people to really feel it. But
I totally agree. But Utah fans are going to show up. Utah fans are nasty. They're nasty at Jazz games. They're nasty at Utah games. They're nasty at BYU games. We talk about Utah State and the home court advantage they have in basketball specifically. These are rowdy fan bases that will get excited about this. And if you start building up the pressure that we saw come from game 1 in Vegas, if that carries over to game 2, which we know it's going to, then you have 3 days off before they play on Friday night here in Salt Lake City at Delta Center. Utah fans are going to turn up, and they're going to turn out. It's going to be really, really a difficult environment, I'm sure, for Vegas, because the Delta Center is still good, and hockey more than ever, it is right on top of you. We used to talk about how the Jazz were right on top of you. Those hockey bleachers are steep right behind the goalies. So it's going to be a very explosive environment. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
You know what I always kind of liked about the Maverick Center? My buddies and I used to go over there and sit right behind the goalie and yell at him. Mm-hmm. And the crowd was light enough that the goalie could hear us. And I tell you what, they switched sides for the second period, and when he came back in the third, we just kept right on it, and he just looked at us and shook his head, and it was like, I don't know what to tell you. His last name was Flaherty. I still remember it to this day. You suck, Flaherty!
Guy's making $22 an hour.
Oh, yeah, playing AA hockey.
Yeah. I had to drive here.
Yeah, we let him know it was AA,
I had to pay
too.
for parking.
Flaherty had a rough day that day. Tell you what. All right, coming up next, rules of the show. Listen, we've Ben and I have been doing the show during the midday from 10 to noon since 2021. And we've created some rules, and now we're moving to a different time slot where hopefully we're taking our wonderful midday listeners and we're adding to them. So we thought we'd go over the rules of the show coming up next. Now, I have prepared this. Ben has not seen my visual aid. He will be
okay.
You will be participating, but there is a visual component. So I would encourage folks to get to KSLSports.com or get to your KSL Sports app or go to our YouTube page and consume the show visually, at least for the next segment. And Maddie assured me we'll get it up online. So if you're still driving, you'll be able to watch it later.
Okay.
I thought if it goes well, it might be something helpful to like pin so people can figure out what the rules are.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Not only do these guys give you the best jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's the Jake and Ben Show, now 2 to 6, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for listening, for absorbing the show. Is that what we settled on?
Yeah, if you want to watch it on YouTube, or you want to listen to it live, or you want to take in the podcast, or maybe you just want to sit on a speaker and just let the sound waves run through you, you're absorbing the show.
You are. Shout out to our friends in the future, the podcast people, the streamers, and the video streamers, which will play a role here, Ben. All right, so we're going to go over the rules of the show. We've been doing the show since 2021, and we've formed some rules. I have it broken down into 3 basic rules, Ben. But what I've done is I prepared, as you can see here, a visual aid.
Okay.
Now, I've really blown it out on the technology front, as you can tell. Now, Ben, here's the rule. Here's a rule of this segment, okay? No referring to the visual aid. It is a visual aid. It is to be consumed visually. It is not for our audio listeners.
Am I using the visual aid?
You are the one flipping the pages.
Okay,
yes.
and this is the last we're going to tear. Am I ripping or flipping?
No, just flip them, and I will tell you.
All right.
I will tell you when to flip. I have my notes here.
I'm going to tell you, I like the sound of ripping paper on live radio, so this is a little disappointing, but okay.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
All right.
Two of you guys are wearing glasses
and
now.
By the way, just in case you were wondering, yes, they are Tom Ford's.
Yeah.
So
part of a former bit that Jake killed because we bullied him.
Throwing that out there. But I do. I've got notes. I've got a whole segment planned, and I've got to do this.
You
so
like John Gruden more than ever.
All right. So we have our visual aid, and Ben, I will tell you when to flip it.
Okay.
Okay. Rule number 1 is like that.
Like that?
Obviously. If you're new to the show, anytime one of us or a guest or
a sound drop,
if you say like that, this is going to happen.
Are we giving the backstory on this?
Now, yes. Now, people ask where that has come from. And if you'll go ahead and flip the page there, Ben, go ahead and flip. I'll just tell you when. It was inspired by maybe the world's greatest play-by-play call in history.
One more gone but not forgotten, and that's our sweet Lucy. At the age of 12, she was run over in our driveway.
Oh, like that? Was she run over like that?
Was she run over like that?
Like that?
Like that?
So listen, I don't know about you, Ben, but this happens to me. I like that people in my personal life. You know, if you're walking around liking that,
like that,
in your personal life to people you know, then we have truly won.
I will tell you, you have ruined the Zach Lowe podcast for me. I really like the Zach Lowe show on The Ringer. It's a good basketball podcast. I think he does really good work. He says that 55 times in an hour-long podcast. He says it over and over and over, and every time I hear it, I hear our like that drop.
Go ahead and flip that. So the rule, if you're new, if somebody says like that, go ahead and flip that, Ben.
This one too?
Mm-hmm.
Like
then
that?
You know how it works. Rule number 2, Ben. Learn the language. Go ahead and flip that. We have many different code word language, and it's always evolving, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them all. But go ahead and flip that. First, we'll just give out some examples, all right? First example, Ben, one of my favorites, and I'm listing it first, fingernails. Caleb Williams, the former USC quarterback, wrote F Utah on his fingernails.
Yep.
From that day forward, he's been known as Fingernails.
We talk about him a lot.
Considering he plays quarterback for the Bears now.
And that's Ben's favorite team.
It is Ben's favorite team.
And I said they should have taken him over Christian's favorite team. And pick 6, Bo Nix, throw picks.
Next up, Ben, hot dog. Taylor Horton Tucker, the former Jazz man. We gave him the nickname Hot Dog. It might be my favorite nickname that I've ever come up with, is because his style of play was always hot dogging it. And now he will forever be my example of a really crappy player that dribbled way too much and thought he was good.
Now, Christian has not reached this stage of parenthood yet because his son is 17 days old. But at one point, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse will enter your life, and it won't leave your life for 24 to 36 months. And you're going to hear that song, hot dog, hot diggity dog, every day for 24 to 36 months, and it will never leave you. But that was the name, yes, of THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, Mr. Hot Dog himself.
Hot dogging it.
He was hot dogging it out there.
All right, next. I like this one as a current example. Phil. Kyle Filipowski. Now, how that was born, a lot of people call him Flip. I'm sitting, shout out to Coach Lacombe, now on with Scotty G, 10-2. And Coach accidentally called him Phil. He's like, wow, did you see that move from Phil? And I thought to myself, that's way better.
Got a new name.
Are you kidding me? Phil? All right, go ahead. Next one. Up next, I would say the sommelier. That is J.J. Redick, who got his job because he did a wine podcast with LeBron.
Yes. For between 6 to 8 episodes, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not that many, but they just got on a podcast. They loosened up a little bit with a couple of bottles of wine because that's an NBA thing, is really fancy old bottles of wine. And maybe a drunken promise, LeBron told J.J. Redick, you can be my forever sommelier.
After a bottle and a half of a buttery
Merlot.
Pinot.
Yeah, something. Whatever.
Like, hey, I'd like you to be my coach.
I really like you. You're the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, that brings us to our next one, which is really important, and that would be Salazar.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Turn
Flip.
the page.
Now, Salazar is our nickname for Lloyd Cole.
Why is that?
Because Lloyd, his mom is from Portugal. Lloyd is Portuguese.
Yeah.
His mom's from a beautiful island off the mainland of Portugal, and I would love to go there someday. But Lloyd also, his management style, Lloyd is the boss, the program director, and let's just say he runs the place with an iron fist.
More than a tight ship. The way a Dictator would.
And a famous Portuguese dictator. His name was Antonio de Oliveira Salazar.
Thus, you've named
Lloyd
Salazar.
So
when we talk about Salazar, that's what we're talking about.
he was basically the dictator in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
So Salazar equals Lloyd Cole.
Lloyd Cole.
All right, next. Adele, Ben. She is our code name for Rich Paul and Clutch.
Entirely. Yeah, all of Clutch's management throughout sports.
Now explain why that is.
Adele is engaged or dating Rich Paul, who runs Clutch Sports. LeBron's friend growing up, started the agency, and now controls probably 10 to 15% of the NBA. But as long as you control LeBron, you control the league. And if you control Rich Paul, you control the world. And Adele controls all of it.
Because Rich Paul famously twists arms. And if you're going to have somebody call up and twist some arms, you saying no to Adele? I didn't think so. All right. Then the next one, this one might be the most important.
Okay.
Flip. Cats in the wall, Ben.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Cat in the wall, eh?
This is the longest we've ever gone on the show without bringing up this exact phrase.
Cats in the
This
wall.
is the first time we're saying this on this episode.
Now, it's pretty funny. We once got feedback from a listener who said that he pulled out cats in the wall in his personal life, and I can't remember if his wife or girlfriend was like, "What does that even mean?
What are you talking about?"
And he said, "Well, I don't really know," and then asked us to explain. And it basically was born on an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dee, doesn't matter. If you've never seen the show, it doesn't really matter.
She's the lone woman.
Dee gets a cat stuck in her wall. There's a cat in her wall, and it's driving her crazy. Charlie comes over, and he says, "Cat in the wall, eh?" And then decides to help
Cat
her
in the wall, eh?
figure out how to get her cat out of the wall.
But what is his solution?
Every solution he comes up with, and it's like 7 or 8 solutions, every single one of them requires or basically consists of putting another cat in the wall.
Every solution includes another cat in the wall.
Until there's like 20 cats at the end of the episode.
Thus, this has become shorthand for every time somebody tries to fix a problem and just makes it worse, which, as we have realized, whether it's the NBA draft lottery, tanking rules, NFL stuff, replays specifically, every solution that anybody comes up with, basically anywhere in the world, but really in sports, is a cat in the wall. There's already a cat there. You're trying to fix it, and your only solution is to put another one in there.
It describes so much of what the NBA does.
Over and over.
That's our number one
You will
example.
hear cat in the wall a lot on this show.
Well, this offseason is they get flatten the lottery odds or whatever. That's a big meowing cat going right into the wall. Not going to fix anything. And in fact, makes it worse. All right, Ben, flip that over, and this is your segment. What am I forgetting? What else would you like to add?
Okay, you mentioned it a little bit. There is a song which you have to stick around for to hear. Now, we apparently did get some complaints about our 4 o'clock segment where we played a lot of music.
We didn't
from
get any
Jake's band.
complaints.
Apparently, there
talking
actually
about?
were quite a few of people not loving the 4 o'clock segment, which was a musical segment. It was very music heavy. That is not going to be every day at 4. There is, though, one part of our show where Jake's band steps in every single day, and it used to be 11:45. Now it is going to be 5:45, 5:55, essentially. Is that when we're playing it? Okay. You will hear another part of Jake's band. Now, it is the sign that that hour is coming to an end, specifically the 5 o'clock hour is coming to an end. And it's called Island Living. And nobody actually knows the Island Vibes, and nobody actually knows the lyrics to it. Though we think it says Two Amigos. You think you know what it means.
It does.
Okay,
It says-
Two Amigos.
On the airwaves.
Talking sports.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear the words. It's led to some real controversy apparently online. But that's what it says. So that would be the only other rule I guess I would add off the top of my head.
I feel like there's a bunch of other names, but I tried to hit some relevant ones.
I think that's totally fair.
You mentioned the clinic.
Talked about Armpit.
We did.
Talked about Rudolph.
We did
Earlier in the show.
Yeah. So
We talked about Adele. There are a few that I won't remember our rules until we get to them. But yes, Jake has a language unto his own that I have adopted. I'm fluent. I want you to become fluent as a listener, and you will.
Rule number 2, learn the language.
Learn the language.
Let's move on to rule number 3. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, there's another. Still going.
Rule number 3.
Uh-oh.
If you have something to say, call in.
Yes.
If you have something to say, we have a call-in feature on our KSL Sports app. You click that, you can record your beautiful voice, and then you can send it to us, and we will go ahead and play it.
Ben, you're such a freaking
Go ahead and
bozo.
flip that, Ben.
Yes.
That's
Excellent.
right. And go ahead and flip that again.
Okay.
And we have another one.
I finally get to call Jake Scott a bozo.
I didn't like that last one.
Okay.
No, I didn't like that.
Next page?
No, we could.
Okay.
But anyway, so use that call-in feature, and also go ahead and flip it. Remember the rules. Rule number 1.
Salazar.
Hey, don't talk about it.
Oh.
Rule number 1. Like that.
Like that?
Rule number 2. Learn the language. Rule number 3. If you've got something to say, call in. And those are the rules of the show.
You're going to hear bozo a lot. Bozo's a go-to insult that we have that actually flipped on us because Jake and I, but you, and I'm just going to throw Steve Bartle under the bus because I can. You guys went after Texas Tech with the fury of 1,000 suns, saying that they had no chance to win anything, specifically you more than Steve. This was going to be a bad football team. They've never done anything right. Even when they had Pat Mahomes, they couldn't figure out a way to win games. And we have a listener to our show, at least the midday show, the former show, who was also a BYU and Texas Tech fan. And I don't know how he spread the word to everybody in Texas Tech. But while you were on vacation, I caught that fury for 3 straight days of Texas Tech fans livid, thinking that, I was the other voice on this clip that went viral, when really it was Steve Bartle, and had to answer for why you were calling everybody in Lubbock, Texas a bozo. People think it was me because they look at the name Jake and Ben, not Jake and Bartle, and I caught the heat for it.
Steve, Bartle me this.
And that came back to bite us because Texas Tech not only had a good team, they won the league, beat both BYU and Utah, beat BYU twice, and got stomped in the playoffs to bring back their bozo behavior. But yes, that's kind of it's not the first time we used bozo.
It is not.
But that's where it really peaked.
The reason we picked it is because I love a good insult, but people are so sensitive these days. And clown is such a great insult because it's not really that bad. And bozo is a specific clown.
Yes.
Clown means unserious person, and it's a great insult. And so I love to use it.
Toilet Take Mike, what was his name? Ryan. Toilet Take Ryan called me a bozo. I can't remember.
You're such a freaking bozo.
I can't remember what he was mad at me for.
It was the Harlan
because I thought
thing.
Mark Harlan kicking the door down and taking over a Utah postgame show is the single funniest thing that's ever happened at the University of Utah. And I celebrated it, and I hope he does it after every game.
Defended Mark's behavior.
With my life. I'll die on the hill that Mark Harlan's never made a better decision in his life than to A, storm the field mid-game during a kickoff return, and then B, hijack a press conference. That was amazing. And then Toilet Take Ryan called me a bozo.
You're such a freaking bozo.
It was very apt.
Can I close this?
All right. What did you think of the visual aid?
I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
I thought it was pretty good.
Do you own a color printer? Or did you
Yes.
have to go to Kinko's to do this?
No, I own a color printer.
Okay. Fancy.
All right, there are your rules of the show. Stay tuned.
There's one more. You'll hear it next.
More Jacob Ben, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This year, experience the NHL playoffs your way. Want to watch a single? Do or Die Game 7, a full week of heavy-hitting back-and-forth series. Then check out Sling's 1, 3, and 7-day passes. Watch the Chase for the Cup on ESPN and TNT, starting as low as $4.99. No long-term contracts or overpaying. Just live hockey at home or when you want it. Sling lets you do that. Visit sling.com to learn more.
All systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airways, talking sports. They got him made Jake's and also loves his tie-dye. Ben's got style with his scarf. Oh my.
What in the world are we listening to? Whose idea was it to play this music during the time that I drive home from work? Please, make it stop. I'm going to turn the channel away.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Nick.
Shout out Nick. Not a fan of Jake's band.
No, listen to this jam. What does Nick know? Now I feel like I don't know, somebody who's put out a bad album lately. I feel like I don't know. I feel like
people didn't like Lord's latest album. You feel like Lord.
Yeah, like you put out some new stuff and people just kill it.
People turn their back on you.
Like Taylor's latest wasn't great, right?
Here's the truth. We're going to do a lot of segments. We're going to do a lot of shows.
A lot of songs.
We also
Get
don't
ready,
want to lie
Nick.
to you. We want you to know what the show's about. We're not gonna pull the wool over your eyes. Occasionally, not all the time, there's gonna be music.
It's gonna be fun. The vibe of the show, Ben. For new listeners who listen in, we try to have fun. It's a fun deal. It doesn't mean that Ben and I don't disagree. It doesn't mean that we don't have it out like you and your friends when we're breaking down sports and having takes and all that good stuff. But you and I both, even when we're disagreeing, we enjoy each other's company, and hopefully that translates to the listeners out there, because we try to keep it light. We're definitely not condescending know-it-alls, and I think a lot of sports radio kind of falls into condescending know-it-all territory, and that's not the show that we want to do.
Speak for yourself. But no, we have a fun show. We have a good,
and that's all the funny, goofy rules.
Yes, there's going to be some bits. There's going to be some silliness, and there's also going to be plenty of serious sports talk.
I can't do a break it down 4-hour show. I can't do it like that.
No.
I just can't.
Like that?
No. It's going to be something for everybody. So we appreciate it. Honestly, this is excited for the future. Talking to Christian during the break about how exciting this is and how fun this is. And, big part of this also, Christian being made full-time. We're excited about Christian's, the company's investment in Christian, too, because he's invested a lot in us. So
can't do a boring show. My wife is not going to like if I come home like that. She's not going to like that one bit.
Like that?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say like that until Nick sends in a call in that's mad about that too.
He will.
Which, honestly,
we have got complaint emails about you.
Oh, did somebody, what was our guy's name? Russ, who blasted me to the whole company.
Russell.
Who complained about me using Bozo.
He replied all.
That I was the smartest guy, and always thought I was the smartest guy in the room.
He said something about you yelling.
And I yell too much, and I yell all the time.
Yeah. He just sent it to @KSL Sports.
Send it to everybody. Just light this guy up.
Why does Jake yell?
The CEO of Bonneville Media was like, "What is this?
Yeah.
Who's screaming about bozos all the time?
Gotta get this
I gotta
Jake
look
guy
into
off
this.
the air.
Seriously.
Or double the time of the show.
Back to rule number 3, though, in our rules segment, call in. Shout out to Nick. You know what? You can call in. You can criticize. You can make jokes. You can call us bozos. Whatever. We love it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Part of the show. I've been called worse by better. And frankly,
I finally get to call Jake Scott a bozo.
Yeah, you're darn right. Who was that? I forgot. Days C. Shout out to Days C. Bring it on. But in all seriousness, not above not above criticism
Absolutely.
or poking fun at ourselves, or even I get to take shots at Ben with a sign during a visual aid.
And you did.
And I did.
No feelings going home injured.
We're going to get that up online. So if you didn't have a chance, if you heard it but did not see it, go check it out. And we've got, we forgot somebody on the YouTube. Was it Angie on YouTube who said we should have explained what you got Wednesday?
Do you think that was my wife? Probably.
Shout out to Angie.
Yeah.
Whoever, that Angie, your wife Angie, all the Angies that are listening, we appreciate you. I bet we've got 5 Angies listening.
Okay. Wow. I don't think I've met 5 Angies in my life.
Maybe 6.
Okay.
Well, we cover a wide swath now. We're on in the 5 o'clock hour.
We do.
How many Angies do you think listen? Or do you think
just said 5.
No, do you think live in the radius of
I think it used
the
to be
signal?
a really popular name, and it died with Lansbury.
But there's got to be like 1,000 Angies in the area, right? And I got to think we got 0.5 of that listening.
I think there was always one in every class I was in. Not every class, but every grade. There was always an Angie. I grew up with one, then went to junior high and high school, and then I wed to one. So.
Is her real name Angela?
Mm-hmm.
She looks more like an Angie than an Angela.
All right.
Does that sound weird?
Keep critiquing my wife, whatever you want to do.
That's not a critique. Shout out to Angela. She's just an Angie. She's not an Angela.
All right. Just an Angie.
Just an Angie. That doesn't sound right either. Shout out to Angie. Yeah, I messed it up. All right, stay tuned. More coming up next, 6 o'clock hour, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This year, experience the NHL playoffs your way. Want to watch a single, do or die Game 7, a full week of heavy-hitting back-and-forth series? Then check out Sling's 1, 3, and 7-day passes. Watch the Chase for the Cup on ESPN and TNT, starting as low as $4.99. No long-term contracts or overpaying. Just live hockey at home or when you want it. Sling lets you do that. Visit sling.com to learn more.